Welcome back to my channel. So, firstly, I'd like to apologise why there was not a video last Thursday. To be honest, my wife's pregnant at the moment and she needed a little help last week, so I attended to her, and also it's getting close for her, so yeah, that's the reason why I didn't do it last week. So I thought I'd let you guys know the reason why. So on this episode, come on, look at the beard. I've lost my charger for the shaver. I do have one on order. I cannot wait to get it off. Old Forrest Gump hair. Look at the state of that. So yeah, we've weaned off some calves the other day. We weaned off 28 of them. And then we took them to the field. Nice bit of grass. And then we're going to have a look at them. Also, I'll give you a little spin of what I'm in now. You may have seen them. So this is the new building here, as you can probably tell by the wood behind me and how clean the panels are. So in here, we need to do some concrete in. It won't be as just of yet, but it's something that we need to do pretty soon before the cows come in. But one thing I didn't realise until the panels were up was this. So the panels are in front of the RSJ. So most of the time I've seen, I know speaking to the people that have done this, they say it's quite common how they do this. Most of the time I find that they're in between. And then normally you just weld your gate hinges from on the metal. Whereas now, at some point, I'll wait until after we concreted, but at some point I'm going to have to maybe put a plate from there down and then maybe weld onto the plate of where the hinges go. So that means that in here, there should be 4 different pens. So there'll be one here, one there, one there, one there. And then here, there needs to be post put in, so that post put in here, so that all the way across, when you come to clean the cattle out, you can just push them, chuck them all back here, then you can scrape right the way up through here. And also we need to figure out what we're going to be doing here on the feeders as well. We're not 100% sure yet what we're going to be doing with the feeders, whether we're going to make our own or have to get some in, but that'll be all sorted out after the concrete end. Also, the hay building, that's also a new building as well. You might have seen me put the hay in there the other day, but we didn't have time to concrete it, and this isn't a big issue really, so we just put the hay in there anyway. But as you can see, it's a fair heap in there. We have used a bit already, which isn't ideal, but we have to use a bit, so needs must. Yeah, so I hope soon, it's going to be soon, we're going to get a digger in, and then we're going to have to sort this out, sort the levels out, and then concrete all of this and get this ready for winter. Because like I said before, normally the cows on this farm come in around October time. So we're going to have to get our head in gear. Here's the rest of the video. Oh, Charlotte's just come down to wash her car. Very snazzy. So this is a Land Rover Freelander 2. I've had it for, I would say, 8 years now. He's racked up some mileage since I've had it. So when I first bought it, it done 130,000 miles. It's on 260 now. So it has had a bit of a hard life, as you can see on the back of here. I have put a lovely little dent in there. But he has just passed MOT again, so that's a good sign. So we'll keep it for another year and go from there. Today, I'm going to be doing an oil change on it. So over here, I've got all my oil ready there. Cabin filter, fuel filter, air filter, and an oil filter. So that would be going into here. So I'm just letting the oil drain out a minute. I always find it best to lift that one up, dipstick, and also take the cap off, as it lets the pressure fire down on through and it pushes it out down the bottom quicker. What I will say, that oil filter on this thing is an absolute pain in the ass. It's a stupid idea. It's right down around about here somewhere, right down in, and it's not the easiest thing to get hold of. But I managed to do it. This is all done now. Should be alright, should still keep going, but it's a long overdue job. Go see your mates. So it's in the afternoon now from when I moved them this morning, as I did have to go somewhere for lunch today, but I thought I'd come back this afternoon and take a little look and see how they're getting on. They're waiting for their cake, but they're not having any. They've already been fed this morning. We still do give them lip buckets as well as giving them cake. That one there is a garlic one, so that one there is mainly for the flies. So all of these are out of our own suckler animals. Some of these though, the smaller ones, are out of first time calfers, so they're a bit smaller. But then you can tell the ones that are out the older cows, like that one and the one behind, as they are a bit bigger. But all in all, they're looking very well. So this grass should be perfect for these lot, as we're not strip grazing them, as it's only a three acre field anyway. But as they're getting the cake as well, there's still enough nutrients for them to be eating the grass, because they're getting the energy from the cake. If they did really struggle down there, we would just bring hay bales down there and put a round feeder in the field. But I haven't got to that yet. There's still plenty of grass there, even though there are a few weeds and that round there. There's still plenty for them to nibble on. But I thought it'd be nice for everyone to see what we do produce here. Most of these are all Angus. There are a few Limousin here, but you struggle to tell because they are black as well. But most of them are Angus. They're quite friendly little things as well. That's one thing that we always find. We always find with the strip grazing, it does make the calves a hell of a lot quieter over time. Where you're going to the fields twice a day, every day, moving that fence for the cows, they're getting used to you. So it only makes them quieter. When you want to come and handle them, if you want to inject them for whatever reason, this, that and the other, they're very quiet to handle. Yeah, you do have the odd one that does kick up a fuss, as I have shown you in one of my shorts before, where I did get a good boot in the arm. But most of the time, they're very quiet. Just as I'm driving through here, I've just noticed the big ruts as well. So leading down to the field where the calves are. So all those rut lines are normally from when it gets to this time of year and it's absolutely hammering down, and later on through the autumn, we normally bring hay down here in round feeders. So over time, obviously, the tractor's just been rutting up the track basically. There's not too much stone there, most of it is soil. So that's going to need attention at some point, otherwise it's just going to get worse and worse. We're nipping back to the farm now, and I'll show you what's been going on there. So I just come back to the yard, and yes, they've delivered the pipe bedding. So we have got quite a bit of drainage to do soon. That's 14mm pipe bedding with 110 pipes. So that'll be for the guttering for the new buildings. They've just got to be dug in and a few little things fiddled about with. But when we get a digger, we'll sort it all out. But now, I said I was going to show you the Ford. It is looking a bit sorry for itself, as one of the panels is gone at the front and on the side, and the tyres are looking a bit bald, and the clutch is gone on it. But there's a bit of nostalgia this tractor. I know people do like their old Fords. Oh, we'll edit that out, that bit. Yeah, as you can see, we have to use a bit of string to pull the clutch back up. The clutch is stuck down, but we will get it sorted, as it's always handy to have another tractor, even if it's just something that's a backup. If the class ever goes, or as a puncher or something, and you need to feed something quickly, you've always got a backup. So on this one, you don't have a joystick like on the class. You've literally just got levers. So that there does your up and down on the front, and then your tilt for the front. And on this, you've got 2 gear sticks. So it's very basic. You just got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then your high range, low range, and reverse. Obviously that's your brake there, accelerator and clutch. Nothing else to it. And your hand revs, but it's just a basic old machine. Like I said, we want to get this sorted, but we just haven't had the time to do it at the moment. We're not sure who's going to do it, whether we're going to do it ourselves or get someone else to do it. That'll most probably be what will happen. But yeah, he's 80 horsepower. He's had a good life with us. Someone did work it hard before we had it, but yeah, it's definitely a tractor. Keep them around the yard. That's all the drainage, so that's all ready, and that's what the pipe bedding would be going on top of. And you don't ever want to put that pipe in, any pipe in, without any pipe bedding. The reason being, pipe bedding is basically self-compacting, and what I mean by that is you don't need to whack it down. So whatever you lay, it's going to stay there. It's not going to move at all. Whereas if you use other stones or soil or anything like that, when you put it in, it'd be right for that moment in time. But after, say, a year or two, when it rains and settles, your levels could be way out of place and your pipes could be going uphill. So that's why you always want to use pipe bedding when laying pipes. And that's the reason why we have to wait for that stuff to come before we do this. And also we have to wait for the digger. So I thought I'd mention that bit. Also, on the last video, which was the muck spilling video, I said in it that we were looking for a crush. We have sort of found one which we're interested in. It's this one here. So it's an AIE crush, and on the photo it doesn't have everything that we need, but you can spec it to what we need. I'm hoping that does all come off and we can tweak it the way that we want to tweak it. But I am still interested at other brands as well, because I know IAE have been one of the main ones for a fair few years now, but I am also interested to see what else is about, as I do hear good things about Bateman and other manufacturers as well. Whereas like a crush has to be safe. If it's not safe, you're putting your life in danger. So that's why I want to know the full ins and outs of everything. And when you buy a crush, you're going to normally have it for the next 20 years. It's not something that you're going to have in a short-term process, basically. It's something that you're going to keep for a long time. So you want to make sure it's durable and last for that period of time that you want it. Thanks for joining me today. This has been a bit of a talkative one, as I'm just getting back into it really. After having that week off, you forget how your brain works doing the YouTube stuff and getting your mindset back to it. Also, I'd like to say a thank you to Shatwick Cricket Club with their fundraiser at the end of this season, Music on the Pitch. We do it every year, and thank you for naming a burger after me. This is some of the footage which from that night. It was a good night. It'll be on next year. But thanks once again, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.